Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
So this hand, 3-5, I want to say 1,000 effective. It's been about a month for this hand. So we'll say 1,000 effective,
Yep.
500 max bet.
Okay.
I have two limpers and a guy who had just sat down, played only a couple hands, maybe a round. He's in late position. He raises to 20.
Like cutoff or
And
something?
yeah, probably cut off. I don't know how long he's been there.
Okay.
He's a couple positions to my right. I'm in the big blind, so I don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
He raises to 20, but he's waiting for like a 20-40 or 40-80 game. So this is where his sizing is a little off.
Oh, just because it's small, right? The raise size is small.
Yeah, it's really small for two limpers.
Right.
So I look down at two black fives. So
Okay.
obviously I call, and both limpers call.
You're in the big blind, or?
One of the blinds, I can't remember.
Okay, so let's just put you as small blind for the hell of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
The two early position limpers call.
Okay.
Flop comes King of Hearts, 6 of Diamonds, 5 of Hearts.
Okay, so you flop bottom set, right?
Correct.
Now, I just want to make sure that so you're 1,000 effective. It's $500 max bet per. Is it 500
Per
max
bet.
per bet per total street, or you can just go 500, 500?
No, per bet. So I can make it 5. You can make it $1,000.
Oh,
Next
okay.
guy can make it 15.
Yeah, okay. Up to like 4 or 5 bets or something?
It's a 1 bet and 3 raises unless it's heads up, and then it goes uncapped.
Okay, so you got bottom set here: King of Hearts, 6 of Diamonds, 5 of Hearts, right?
Right. So
Okay.
I check.
Mm-hmm.
First limper donks out for 60.
Okay.
The next limper calls,
Yep.
and then the big blind, or not the big blind, the pre-flop raiser, the guy who's waiting on the limit game, and he only has like $100 chips in front of him, which is kind of why I know he's waiting for the limit game. He throws out a bet at 200.
So this cutoff, who's like a limit player,
He's waiting on the 20, 40, 40,
Yep.
80, whatever it is.
raises to 200.
Correct.
Okay. So what I would say here is that this is never going to be an airball bluff. First of all, it's kind of interesting on the flop whether or not from your position, like say you're in the small blind, I might actually lead the flop because from your sort of characterization of this guy that doesn't really know what's going on all that much, he's not really going to bet, I don't feel like, if he doesn't have a king. I think that sometimes people are going to be overly cautious. So
Okay.
I'd sort of try to get the people in between to call. So, and you could have done what the limper did actually. I mean, the limper actually bet pretty big, but I might just bet out sort of small, like 40. And then you get the limpers to piece off with something. And then if the guy does have a king, he'll raise. Now here,
Okay.
what's kind of interesting is you actually had that happen to you. And I'm not saying that I would normally play the hand this way. I'm just kind of making an adjustment to the situation. I don't do a whole lot of leading with sets into the preflop raiser at the stakes I play in, just because it's hard to develop a sort of a donking multi-way range in a raised pot. But I would certainly do it if I was playing 5-5, or I would do it a lot more. And I used to do it in the older games too. Back in the day, it would be the best way to maximize. So limper bet 60 call, cutoff makes it 200. I mean, it kind of sucks because if the guy's a limit, well, I'm not concerned about whether or not you have the best hand. Like, there's no way I'm going to fold to a limit player with bottom
Right,
set.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out the best way to maximize your hand here. And
that's kind of what I'm calling, because had it been, 6-5 of hearts, and someone could have, a king and a flush draw, top pair and flush draw would have been a little different. But only thing that beats me here is pocket kings.
well,
Maybe sixes from one of the limpers, but I think both those limpers were raising sixes pre.
well, I mean that could be, but I'm just trying to figure out like if you like if you cold basically 3-bet here, it's just really, really strong on one hand. On the other hand, I don't know if a limit player is capable of folding a hand like ace king or aces, or some hand that he thinks he's going to go with, the nut flush draw, something like that. It would be interesting actually to know if you were in the big blind or the small blind, and I don't know if the limit player is going to be able to sort of hand read in that spot that you actually have less hands in the small blind, right? Like if you were in the big blind, you could have 5-6. You could maybe have king 6 or king 5 suited. Probably not, but you're getting a price and you thought the other limpers were going to call. There's just a lot more hands that you could have, I feel like, in the big blind than if you had in the small blind. So, you've got one hand where you could call. Forget about the limpers. Big deal. If they have draws, they have draws, whatever. You almost want them to call with their draws. Their draws are transparent. You know what I'm saying? You have a set. The question is that do you call, and then are you going to maximize more from the limit player in the cutoff by cold calling the raise, kind of praying for a blank turn card to come, checking to him, and then just getting it in on the turn when he's basically blasts away? Or do you just like dink and dunk here, like 60 to 200? What if you were to actually, you know what? Here's the best of both worlds. What if you were to make it like 350? Something like that. 60 to 220. Well, the raise is 140. Yeah, what if you made it 350? I actually like that play. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I was sort of torn whether if you went and cold basically 3-bet to like 500, the guy might not stack off. If you call, you're gambling with the draws and the action card killers. If you make it 350, now the other guys aren't even priced in with their draws, and I have a really, really hard time believing that a guy is going to fold to a min raise here.
Okay. And that's kind of where I was playing with it, being the limit. And I know you had something on the forums where you were playing a limit guy, and you then clicked it back on the Turner River or something. This was after that, but it kind of made me think of it.
What did you end up doing?
I made it a little big. I made it like 525.
Okay, so
partially because I had just I was stuck pretty early in the day, and I had just gotten unstuck, and it was like you're paying for your draws. So it was, I don't know if what I would call that, but I was definitely looking to leave a winner. So that was partially influenced that.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, now people might say, and rightly so, that what hand do you ever, if you were to say play the line that I'm advocating, which is like a click back, right? What hands do you ever have there that are bluffs? It doesn't matter. That's my point. Like, yeah, you might not have bluffs there, but it's probably going to be the best way to win the most money in this particular scenario against this type of specific player. Because the other thing too is that, I mean, I don't hate your 3-bet cold, but if you flat call the 200, that in itself can sometimes be scary, although maybe the guy thinks that like you would, because of the draws, like you wouldn't flat call with a set. You know what I mean? So I might actually like calling more than making it 525, because I'm just trying to think of what's the most deceptive way to play it. Back in the day, fast playing was always going to be the most deceptive way to play it. Here, it would be a decent play with a hand like 7-8 of hearts if you thought that there was fold equity, right? Something like that, like some sort of 15-out draw. But I wonder if flatting the raise is actually the most deceptive way to play it. But it's a gamble, obviously. You're going to have to be concerned about hearts coming around from the limpers. But all right, so you make it 525. What happens?
One of the limpers snap folded. The other one tanked for a good minute and a half, making me think he had some sort of draw or combo draw.
Yep.
Or something. I mean, obviously. And he folded, and then the other guy did the exact same thing. I mean, they both tanked for a good 90 seconds and folded. So, I mean, that's why I was scared on making it low, is I didn't want to have to worry about, every 4, every 8, every heart, if there's a lot of cards on the turn that I don't like, and that's kind of why I sized up.
I don't know, but I think you're really just only concerned about hearts, to be honest with you. Because, like, what? I mean, I guess
I think 7-8 in one of those limpers is going to be there, knowing the players that were to my left, why the one guy limped was kind of strange, but the guy next to him, he definitely had 7-8 there.
Yeah. But even if you're concerned about a 4 or a 9.
I guess it would be a 9, not an 8.
Right, a 4 or a 9 and hearts, that's still only like, That's still only 15 cards. The six of hearts, of course, wouldn't be good, so it's still like 14 cards. I mean, offsuit straightening cards could get you in a little bit of a trouble, but still, you just try to play a hand to like maximize. I think that I would probably rather flat than just go 525, but I think I'd rather click to 350 or 340
Right,
is actually
and that's
probably
why
the play that I would want to make the most.
right, and I think it was the action in the middle that kind of threw me off. It was just up against him. Yeah, I'm letting him bet this and going for value on that because I'm pretty sure as long as he took the fold, he had aces.
Yeah.
The way he was, kind of hemming and hawing, first hand, whatever, kind of looking at the list, seeing when he's going to get called. So I guess it was the action in the middle that kind of threw me off on what to do here. This is why I sized up.
But again, against competent players, just keep in mind that it's going to make a difference whether or not you're in the small blind or the big blind, right? Because you're going to have more hands probably in the big blind here than you are in the small blind. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.